What up, though? All praises go to the Most High, man. It's your boy Trail, man. And today, I want to talk about weakness, man. Weakness. You know what I'm saying? We all got weaknesses, man. We all got things that, we're inferior to. You know what I mean? That are like, hard for us. Like, one thing that's super hard for me, like, one thing that's my weakness is my patience, man. I ain't got no patience. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got no patience. And it shows, in my life. But one thing about a weakness, man, once you acknowledge that it's your weakness, you know what I mean, you could be a little bit more gracious on yourself. And when you give yourself a little bit more grace about it, you humble yourself and you can begin to work on it a little better. You know what I mean? I know patience is my weakness, so when I go into things, I try and tell myself, like, you gonna have to exercise that patience muscle, man. You gonna have to, really dig in, you know what I mean? And I know patience is my weakness, so when I'm ready to give up or when I'm ready to go rush into something, I tell myself, like, this just my weakness, coming up. This just my weakness showing itself, you know what I mean? This is just something that I need to work harder at, you know what I mean? Because I know that I got the ambition, I know I got the motivation, I know I got the dedication, but because it ain't happening in the timely manner that I want it to happen, you feel me? I feel like it ain't never gonna happen, or I feel like, man, I could be doing something else, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, something that to reflect on, you know what I mean? Something for you to understand better, you know what I mean? Another weakness that I got, is communication, you know what I mean? I be feeling like I ain't gotta tell a nigga shit. I ain't gonna lie. I be feeling like, man, this is my life, this is my, this is my reality, this is my world. Like, shit, God know what I'm on. I ain't gotta tell nobody what's going on. But it's like, in the same token, communication, man, is so key, man. You know what I mean? Because how anybody ever gonna be able to understand you or feel you or help you out, if you can't communicate, or even if you just not willing to communicate with them, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times when I communicate stuff, I ain't gonna lie, I damn near see how silly I was being, or I see like, man, maybe I was tripping a little bit, you know what I mean, once I truly express it. Like, so communication is good, It's very good, especially when you networking and when you trying to build out here. Communication is vital to that, you know what I mean? So when you realize, these weaknesses that we all have, it allows you to exercise them better and work them more, you know what I mean? So even though it's a weakness, and it might be something that might be your weakness forever, you know what I mean? Not saying that it's something that you never will be good at, or that you never will, gain the strength out of it, like get it more stronger or get it more healthy in a sense, like, but saying that out of all the other stuff you do, out of all the other tools in your bag, communication and patience might be the tool you use the least, you know what I mean? It might be the tool that you are the least experienced with, you know what I mean? In my sense. So it's like, when we realize these weaknesses, man, we have to just embrace them more, you know what I mean? Embrace them, man. If your weakness is understanding, you gotta be real with yourself and tell yourself, like, man, I ain't got no understanding. Like, a motherfucker tell me something and it don't sit right with me, I'm instantly ready to, end it all. I'm instantly ready to blow up. I'm instantly ready to go crazy. Like, that's my weakness, and I need to work on that. You know what I mean? Even if I just work on my reactions better, you know what I mean? Even if I just work on my ability to walk away better, you know what I mean? And not end it walk away, but my ability to just not react in that moment, walk away, and really think about what's going on, really think about the matter at hand. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these weaknesses, man, if we don't never face them, if we don't never really come to terms with them, like, they gonna be detrimental to us. You know what I mean? They gonna hold us back for the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you'll be better for it. You'll be better for it, man. If your weakness is, saving money, like, you will be better for working on that. You know what I mean? You'll be better for realizing, okay, saving money is my weakness. Let me try not to be so impulsive. You know what I mean? Give yourself grace. You probably still gonna spend some money. It's probably gonna take you a minute to actually strengthen that weakness. It's probably gonna take you a minute to actually, hone in on that skill and get it better. You know what I mean? But that don't mean it can't be done. You know what I mean? You can even start with just saving $1 out of check. If you spend all your money and you are a horrible saver, every check you get or every time you make some money, just save a little bit of it. You feel me? Just save $1. You feel me? Just save $2. Just save $10. You know what I mean? And as time go on, and as you see your savings grow from $1 over a month, now you got $30. You know what I mean? Once you see it grow, it's gonna inspire you to do better. It's gonna inspire you like, man, maybe I'm not that bad, you know what I mean, with saving money. Maybe it's something that I really, really just needed to work on. Maybe it's not impossible for me to control myself in the form of saving money. You know what I mean? It just give you more motivation. You know what I mean? It give you more confidence in the fact. You know what I mean? Because with me, you know what I'm saying? When patience come around, and I gotta be patient, I just sit back, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm super impatient. I might still go do something, but I try to just not force nothing, or I try not to just be so anxious about doing it. And I just try and tell myself, like, it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? I try and coach myself through it, talk myself through it. You know what I mean? And we can all do that, man. We can all try and, talk ourselves through our weaknesses. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. But I love y'all, man. Good thoughts, good vibes in a minute.